Implementing protocols for specific infectious agents, presented by Provet Logic, licensed Board of Veterinary Medicine, continuing education provider. Implementing protocols for specific infectious agents. Program description. Infectious agents that can be transmitted via surface contact or airborne contamination require specific protocols to effectively eliminate the source of the infectious agent. This course will provide step-by-step procedures for creating a safer working environment, dealing with specific infectious agents including Canine Parvovirus, Kennel Cough, specific steps for cleaning and disinfecting in the Cattery environment, and isolation room preparation and use. Safety checklist. Slip and falls. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, slips, trips, and falls cause nearly 700 fatalities per year and many more injury accidents in the workplace. Slips can be caused by wet surfaces, spills, or weather hazards like ice or snow. Slips are more likely to occur when you hurry or run, wear the wrong kind of shoes, or don't pay attention to where you are walking. Although there are no formal training requirements for slip and falls, it is important to train your employees to recognize unsafe conditions. Prevention. Place wet floor caution signs before cleaning and or in high moisture areas. Wear slip-resistant shoes. Keep an eye out for obstructions and remove them. Safety checklist. Back injury. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, more than 1 million workers suffer back injuries each year, with back injuries accounting for 1 out of every 5 workplace injuries or illnesses. Preventing back injuries in the workplace can be a major challenge. Though lifting, placing, carrying, holding, and lowering are involved in manual material handling, the BLS survey shows that 4 out of 5 injuries were to the lower back and 3 out of 4 occurred while the employee was lifting. Prevention. Stretch before, during, and after work. Understand proper lifting techniques. Ask for help when lifting an item that is too heavy. Safety checklist. Chemical injury. Hazardous chemicals are substances that can cause adverse health effects such as poisoning, breathing problems, skin rashes, and other health problems due to exposure. Many chemicals that are used in the workplace can be classified as hazardous. These chemicals can be classified as flammable, corrosive, and irritant to eyes, skin, and upper respiratory system, and unsafe for the environment. Hazardous chemicals in your workplace must be identified and safely managed as part of your workplace risk management plan. Prevention. Never mix chemicals. Not only could toxic gases be released, mixing chemicals together will greatly reduce or eliminate the individual product's efficacy. Make sure that all spray bottles are properly labeled for the product being used. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipment, PPE. Protective gloves. Work gloves should fit comfortably and never be too tight or too loose. The material must be appropriate for the type of work performed and should stand up to the tasks involved. Workers should have all the relevant information pertaining to their gloves, including whether or not they are reusable. If they are, workers must know how long the gloves can be used. For example, chemical-resistant gloves can be reused, but the choice to do so needs to be made with care, taking into consideration the gloves' absorptive qualities, the toxicity of the chemicals they come in contact with, and even the duration of exposure, storage conditions, and temperature. Never wash or reuse disposable gloves. Gloves should be changed between procedures in high-risk or isolation areas. Keep gloves clean and dry. The correct use and disposal of gloves in healthcare setting require extra attention due to the possibility of contamination. Replace worn or damaged gloves right away. Personal protective equipment. Protective goggles. Safety goggles should be worn when cleaning surfaces above eye level. Safety goggles are the primary protectors intended to shield the eyes against liquid or chemical splash, irritating mists, vapors, and fumes. They form a protective seal around the eyes and prevent liquids from entering under or around the goggles. This is especially important when working with or around liquids that may splash, spray, or mist. Comfort and fit are important considerations when selecting eye protection. Goggles are available in a variety of styles and sizes, and care should be taken to ensure that the right size is selected for a particular person. Eye protection with adjustable fitting features, such as straps, need to be adjusted on a regular basis for a comfortable fit. Personal protective equipment, protective wear. Protective workwear consists of aprons, gowns, sleeves, and shoe covers. When selecting protective workwear for your staff, consider the following product features and benefits. Constructed using FDA-compliant materials. Waterproof. Resistant to chemical. Does not retain odors. Non-porous. Will not host bacteria or mold. Recyclable. Latex-free for sensitive users. Clean hands equal healthy pets and staff. Hand care statistics. The annual direct costs such as hospital and doctor's office visits and medications of influenza in the United States are an estimated $4.6 billion. The flu causes U.S. employees to miss approximately 17 million workdays and an estimated $7 billion a year in sick days and lost productivity. The fear of new infectious agent outbreaks, such as with coronavirus, is creating a heightened sense of awareness as it pertains to risk assessment and prevention. Proper hand care is your first line of defense in implementing an effective disease prevention protocol. Whether you're playing with, feeding, or cleaning up after a pet, it is important to wash your hands to reduce the risk of spreading germs from one pet to another and reduce the risk of getting sick from germs that both pets and humans can carry. Soap and water versus hand sanitizer. Which is the best? Experts say washing with soap and water is first choice, especially if you have visible dirt on your hands. Sanitizer can't cut through that grime. Hand sanitizer is an alternative when soap and water isn't readily available, and it's more effective at eliminating germs because it kills them rather than just removing them. Proper hand washing protocol. For proper hand washing, all you need is 20 seconds, soap and water. 1. Wet hands with clean running water and apply soap. 2. Rub your hands together to make a lather. 3. Scrub well, being sure to scrub the back of your hands between fingers and under your nails. 4. Continue rubbing your hands for 20 seconds or the time it takes to hum "Happy Birthday" twice. 5. Rinse your hands well under running water. 6. Dry your hands using a clean towel or mechanical dryer. Clean hands equal healthy pets and staff. Hand hygiene indications. Using a system of hand hygiene indications will minimize the transfer of bacteria. 1. When coming on duty. 2. Between all breaks and procedures. 3. Before performing new procedures. 4. Before equipment preparation. 5. Before and after eating. 6. Before donning gloves and after removing gloves. 7. When moving from a contaminated procedure site to a clean procedure site. 8. After touching inanimate objects that are likely contaminated. 9. When hands are soiled, such as after sneezing, coughing, or blowing your nose. Clean hands equal healthy pets and staff. Hand sanitizing. When soap and water aren't available, sanitizers can be a substitute. Important. Hand sanitizers are not effective if your hands are visibly dirty. Alcohol and quaternary-based sanitizers can reduce the number of germs on hands, but they do not eliminate all types of germs. Foaming hand sanitizers made with quaternary compounds are less aggressive to the skin when used multiple times daily. Here's how to use hand sanitizer properly. 1. Apply the product to the palm of one hand. 2. Rub your hands together. 3. Rub the sanitizer over all surfaces of your hands and fingers until your hands are dry. Hand sanitizer dispenser placement locations. Doorway from kennel to hospital. Outside of isolation room. Outside of treatment rooms. Patient waiting room. Patient checkout area. Hallway. Cattery. Grooming area. And exit to the play yard. How to prepare and manage a successful isolation room. Room preparation. Select trained and designated staff members for isolation room implementation. Place a hand sanitizing station near the entrance of the isolation room. Ensure adequate room ventilation. Post signs on the door indicating that the space is an isolation area. Keep a roster of all staff working in the isolation areas for possible outbreak investigation and contact tracing. Stock the PPE supply outside the isolation room or areas. Set up a cabinet or cart outside the entrance to hold PPE. A checklist may be useful to ensure that all equipment is stocked and available. Place appropriate waste bags in bin. If possible, use a touch-free bin. Ensure that the used bins remain inside the isolation room. Keep the patient's personal belongings, such as collars, leashes, toys, bedding, etc., to a minimum. How to prepare and manage a successful isolation room. Before entering the room. Before entering the isolation room or area, collect all equipment needed. Perform hand hygiene with a hand sanitizer. Put on PPE in the order that ensures adequate placement of PPE items and prevents self-contamination. Example of the order in which to don PPE when all PPE items are needed is hand hygiene, gown, mask, eye protection, and gloves. How to prepare and manage a successful isolation room. Leaving the room. Leaving the isolation room or area. When removing the PPE, make sure that the PPE will not contaminate either the environment outside the isolation room or area or other animals. Remove PPE in the manner that prevents self-contamination with contaminated PPE or hands. General principles are: remove the most contaminated PPE items first. Perform hand hygiene immediately after removing gloves. Remove the mask last. Discard disposable items in a closed receptacle. Perform hand hygiene with a hand sanitizer whenever ungloved hands touch contaminated PPE items. Disease-specific protocols. Canine Parvovirus. Staff notes. Wear one pair of shoes to work and keep a second pair at work. Thoroughly clean and disinfect shoes, pet carriers, community leashes. 1. Place infected dog in specified isolation room. 2. Wash and/or sanitize hands. 3. Put on personal protective equipment. 4. Pick up and discard solid waste. 5. Prepare a solution of an EPA-tested and approved disinfectant. 6. Apply the solution to all surfaces and touch points, animal and human. 7. Agitate surfaces if needed. 8. Remove puddles and wipe up heavy moisture. 9. Allow surfaces to thoroughly air dry before returning dogs to the area. 10. Remove and discard PPE. 11. Wash and/or sanitize hands. Disease-specific protocols. Kennel cough. Kennel cough is often used as a generalized term for any number of viruses that can cause upper respiratory illness in dogs. The virus can move quickly through a kennel, infecting a large number of the dog population before the cause of the illness can be pinpointed and corrective actions implemented. Reaction time is key to minimizing the spread of disease and protecting the well dog population. Most, if not all, upper respiratory illnesses are transmitted in the same fashion, so we recommend a simple 3-step approach to help minimize the spread of the disease. Isolate, ventilate, clean. Do isolate symptomatic dogs as soon as possible. Discourage dog owners from dropping off symptomatic pets. Do ventilate. Open windows and doors and use fans to move air from side to side. Updraft systems, which are normally located towards the ceiling of the kennel, will have minimal impact on moving air closer to the ground. Do clean. Although the transfer of the illness is mainly airborne in nature, it can be spread on surfaces from nasal discharge and other fluids. These fluids can build up in a biofilm that can accumulate on surfaces, such as kennel floors. If not cleaned properly, these surfaces can be the source of recurring illness. Disinfectants do not have the inherent chemical ability to break down organic matter, the biofilm, so we recommend pre-cleaning the surfaces with an enzymatic cleaner before implementing the disinfecting process. Don't clean using strong disinfectant cleaners such as acids and chlorine-based formulas. Use of strong cleaners during the outbreak of a respiratory illness can exacerbate the issue. Don't use shared rope leashes without cleaning and disinfecting them between uses. Don't allow the use of community water bowls. Disease-specific protocols. Kennel cough protocol. Staff notes. 1. Wash hands before and after handling each animal. 2. Wear personal protective equipment, including barrier clothing and gloves when handling sick animals or cleaning cages. Discard and replace before working with another animal. 3. Thoroughly clean clothes and disinfect shoes at the end of each shift. Always remove animals, food and water dishes, bedding and toys from the area before implementing the cleaning protocol. Pre-clean all surfaces, including dog and human touch points. 1. Remove and discard solid waste. 2. In a dedicated sprayer, foam gun, or mop bucket, mix a solution of enzymatic cleaner and water. 3. Start at the top of the cage or run and work down and out, covering the entire surface. 4. Agitate surface to remove soil buildup. 5. Allow the solution to stand for 3 to 5 minutes. 6. Rinse or squeegee solution towards the drain. 7. Allow surfaces to dry thoroughly before proceeding to the next step. Sanitize all surfaces, including dog and human touch points. In a dedicated sprayer, foam gun, or mop bucket, mix a solution of EPA-approved disinfectant and water. 2. Spray all animal and human touch points, floors, walls, gate handles, etc. 3. Do not rinse. Solution requires a 10-minute contact time. 4. Allow all surfaces to thoroughly dry before returning animals, dishes, bedding, and toys to the area. The EPA-approved disinfectant should have efficacy for, but not be limited to, Bordetella roxeptica, canine distemper, canine coronavirus, canine adenovirus, and canine parainfluenza Disease-specific protocols, Giardia and Coccidia. One of the most frequently asked questions that we receive is, are disinfectants effective against Coccidia and Giardia? No, disinfectants do not offer efficacy against Giardia, Coccidia, or other parasites. Implementing a protocol to eliminate the host can be the best and only alternative to controlling an outbreak. Staff notes. 1. Wear one pair of shoes to work and keep a second pair at work. 2. Wear protective gloves when handling infected animals. Change gloves before handling the next dog. 3. Clean and sanitize food and water dishes, toys, and tools that are used in the cleaning process. Protocol. Step 1. Bathe the infected dog to remove any trace of feces from the coat. Rinse well and isolate the dog until the infection is completely gone. Note, remove all animals, food and water dishes, bedding, blankets, and toys from the area before starting the cleaning process. Step 2. Sweep floors thoroughly to remove debris and hair that may be contaminated. Make sure that no fecal matter remains in the area. Thoroughly clean and wash bedding and blankets. Step 3. Apply a solution of enzymatic cleaner and water to floors, walls, synthetic turf, exterior substrate, and all surfaces touched by both humans and animals. We recommend using a hose end foam gun or other spray device when possible, which will allow the solution to cling to vertical surfaces. Rinse the surface after a 3 to 5 minute dwell time. Note, for natural grass and dirt, apply the solution, but do not rinse. The use of an enzymatic solution in the cleaning process will degrade the organic matter, the host, to help remove the biofilm, which can harbor odor and disease-causing parasites, bacteria, and viruses. Disease-specific protocols. Ringworm. Trichophyton megarophytes is a species in the fungal genus of Trichophyton. It is one of the 3 common fungi which cause ringworm in companion animals. Is the following surface porous or non-porous? I asked this question during staff training sessions, and most of the attendees answer non-porous. Although a brand new stainless steel table is non-porous, the very first scratch turns the tabletop into a porous and potentially fungus harboring surface. Surface scratches, along with the buildup film or surface tension, is the perfect environment for ringworm. What can be done to prevent ringworm from spreading? Good hygiene practices go a long way to help prevent ringworm from spreading from animal to animal and from surface to surface. A ringworm control protocol should include the following. 1. Infected animals should be bathed using a medicated rinse or shampoo. 2. Wash and disinfect surfaces that infected animals have come into contact with, including treatment tables, cage surfaces, carriers, bedding, toys, leashes, collars, transport vehicles, etc. Note, when selecting a disinfectant cleaner, make sure that Trichophyton megarophytes is on the efficacy list and that the product has sufficient amount of detergent to break down the surface tension. 3. Discard items that are impossible to thoroughly disinfect, such as carpeted cat trees. 4. Frequently vacuum or use other methods to rid the area of infected hairs and skin cells. Note, the fungus can survive on hair or skin that an animal sheds. 5. As a common practice, it is imperative to wash hands and or change gloves after touching an affected animal. Disease-specific protocols. The Cattery. Cat popularity and population is on the rise in the U.S., with some animal shelters experience a 3-to-1 cat-to-dog annual intake. Caring for cats in a Cattery environment can offer challenges unlike those found in the canine environment. For many years, disinfectants and protocols used in the animal care environment were developed specifically for canines, and even today, the scale still weighs towards canine disease prevention versus feline disease prevention. Implementing a Cattery-specific protocol using disinfectants with efficacy for the most prevalent feline diseases, such as Feline URI, Feline Parvovirus, and Feline panleukopenia, will go a long way to protect the cat population. Getting started. 1. Selecting an effective cleaner disinfectant. Not all cleaner disinfectants have been tested and are proven effective against feline-specific infectious agents. The product must be EPA registered and list the approved infectious agent kill claims on the label or provide direction as to where to find a complete list of claims. Certain ingredients can cause upper respiratory infection in cats and kittens and should be avoided, including peroxide, chlorine, acids, and other cleaners with extremely high or low pH values. 2. Fragrance. What smells good to you and me may in fact be very offensive to a cat's olfactory sense or ability to smell. Select a cleaner with a mild fragrance that dissipates quickly. 3. Selecting the right sprayer setting. Most spray nozzles have 3 settings: off, mist, coarse. Select the coarse setting when applying the cleaning solution. Applying the cleaning solution using the mist setting will allow the chemical mist to migrate from one area of the room to another. Even the slightest chemical mist can cause upper respiratory distress in cats and kittens. Wet wipes are also a good alternative when cleaning in highly populated catteries. Disease-specific protocols. General Cattery protocol, floor cleaning. Staff notes. 1. Refresh disinfectant mop bucket solution when it becomes visibly dirty. Efficacy will diminish in soiled solution. 2. Rinse mop head thoroughly and hang to air dry between uses. 3. Place wet floor caution signs to reduce slip and falls. Floor cleaning. 1. Sweep and or dust to remove all loose debris. 2. Fill a mop bucket with a mixture of properly diluted disinfectant and water. For the most effective and economical results, fill a chemical pump sprayer with a pre-mixed solution. Working from the back of the room toward the exit, apply a liberal amount of solution onto the floor surface, including under cages, counters, and baseboards. 4. Allow the solution to stand for at least 10 minutes. 5. Fill a mop bucket with clean water. 6. Using a clean mop head, mop the floor in a side-to-side motion. 7. Dump and replace water when it becomes visibly dirty and thoroughly rinse the mop head. 8. Allow the floor to dry thoroughly before reintroducing animals to the area. 9. At least once a week, fill a mop bucket or chemical sprayer with a mixture of a solution of 2 to 4 ounces of enzymatic cleaner and water and apply to the floor surface around baseboards and furniture. The solution will help to degrade any embedded organic matter, helping to control odors and break down the biofilm that may build up on the surface. Disease-specific protocols. General Cattery protocol, cage and surface cleaning. Staff notes. 1. Avoid using cleaners with a very high or low pH value. 2. Set the spray bottle nozzle setting to coarse stream. 3. Wash hands and or change gloves between sick animals. Cage and surface cleaning process. Fill a specially labeled /Cattery designated spray bottle or wet wipe container with a solution of disinfectant and water. Refer to the product's label for proper dilution ratio. 1. Remove cat from the cage and place an adjacent cage or kennel. 2. Remove dishes, toys, bedding, and litter box. 3. Apply the disinfectant solution to all touch points by holding the spray bottle 6 to 8 inches above the surface. 4. Starting from the back of the cage, wipe the surface in one motion. 5. Wipe down all touch points, including cage handles, cage wire, dish holders, etc. 6. For heavily soiled surfaces, hard to reach areas, and wheels, agitate with a synthetic brush. 7. It is important to clean and disinfect wheels on cages, carts, and trash receptacles that move from area to area. 8. Discard used litter and clean box with a fresh towel wipe. Important. Allow the surfaces to air dry before returning the cat to the cage. Disease-specific protocols. Feline URI. Feline upper respiratory infection. Considering that the infection may be caused by one or more viral and bacterial agents, we recommend a standardized protocol to help minimize the spread of the disease. Chlorine bleach, chemicals with an extremely low or high pH, or chemicals with a heavy fragrance can also cause URI or exacerbate an existing condition. Staff notes. 1. Avoid using cleaners with a very high or low pH value. 2. Set the spray bottle nozzle setting to coarse or stream. 3. Wash hands and or change gloves between sick animals. Protocol. 1. Isolate infected cats. 2. Increase cross-ventilation and airflow. 3. Pick up and discard solid waste. 4. Apply a solution of diluted enzymatic cleaner. 5. Agitate surfaces if needed. 6. Wipe up and remove heavy moisture. 7. Allow surfaces to dry thoroughly. 8. Apply a properly prepared solution of disinfectant to all human and cat touch points. 9. Do not rinse. 10. Allow surfaces to air dry before returning cats to the area. Disease-specific protocols. Feline panleukopenia. Feline panleukopenia continues to be one of the leading causes of feline death in highly populated catteries, such as shelters, throughout the country. Not only can the virus be spread on hard surfaces, but it can also be spread on clothing, shoes, bedding, and hands. Protocol. Place infected cat in specified isolation room or area. 2. Wash and or sanitize hands. 3. Put on personal protective equipment. 4. Pick up and discard solid waste. 5. Apply a properly prepared solution of disinfectant to all human and cat touch points. Note, not all disinfectants have efficacy for feline panleukopenia, so refer to the product label or technical data sheet for more information. 6. Agitate surfaces if needed. 7. Allow the solution to stand based on label direction. 8. Wipe up heavy moisture. 9. Allow surfaces to air dry before returning cats to the area. 10. Remove and discard PPE. 11. Wash and or sanitize hands. Thank you for joining us today. For more information, please call 1-800-869-4789 or email education@provetlogic.com.